What's going on? It's facts you don't know. If it's your first time here and you want to find out new facts that will definitely make you smarter and more well informed, make sure to subscribe and activate the notifications bell so you don't miss anything.
In 1983, in the Vatican, under incomprehensible circumstances, the 15-year-old girl and the daughter of Holy See employee Emanuela Orlandi disappeared. Circumstances in vain tried to find out over the past more than 30 years. To find out more about this mysterious disappearance, watch this video to the end. The ecclesiastical authorities were looking for the body of Emanuela Orlandi, who disappeared in 1983 when she was 15 years old. Searching for a missing young woman, they found thousands of bones in 2 Vatican graves. Until now, the whereabouts of the woman and the origin of the thousands of bones remain a mystery, so the families decided to have its own specialists. Emanuela Orlandi was a 15-year-old girl who disappeared in the summer of 1983 when she returned home. She was the daughter of a Vatican employee, and they both lived within the walled city. The Vatican prosecutor's office has proceeded this Thursday to open the graves of 2 German princesses located in a cemetery within the walls of the Vatican to check whether the remains of Emanuela Orlandi, the daughter of a Vatican employee mysteriously disappeared in 1983, were found there at the age of 15, but has found that the graves were empty. This was explained to the media by the lawyer of the Orlandi family, Laura Sgro, after being present at the exhumation. An anonymous letter received last summer with a photo of the tomb and the phrase, "Look where the angel indicates," prompted a line of investigation that suggested the opening of these particular tombs, and a request was made to the Vatican Secretary of State that they be authorized. The graves are in the Teutonic Cemetery, an area of the Vatican that corresponds to the place where the so-called Nero Circus was, a place of martyrdom for many of the early Christians, which later became the property of a German foundation. Both lawyers Sgro and the brother of the missing young woman, Pietro Orlandi, were surprised and disappointed to find that the 2 graves were empty, nor is the family of the 2 princesses aware of where the bodies are. The disappearances of Orlandi constitutes one of the most mysterious cases in Italy, since the minor's track was lost on June 22, 1983, after her flute classes. Research work and guesswork have been practically incessant. Others attributed her disappearance to a kidnapping by the mafia as a measure of pressure to recover a loan that would have been made to the Holy See. Others claimed that the minor had been kidnapped to demand the release of Mehmet Ali Akra, the Turk who tried to assassinate Pope John Paul II in 1981. The teenager's family has never given up hope of finding her alive. Her brother, Pietro, has spent many years leading a campaign to clarify the facts and denounces the Vatican's silence on the matter. On May 14, 2012, the scientific police, followed another of the multiple leads of the investigation, opened a marble sarcophagus in the small basilica of San Apollinar in search of Orlandi. Hundreds of corpses were found there dating back more than 2 centuries, but there was no trace of the missing minor. The cemetery is reserved for burials of German-speaking Catholics. The Vatican allowed its opening to forensic investigators. When they opened the crypts on July 11th, they found no remains at the site. They would later announce that the princess's remains may have been removed in a cemetery renovation in the 1970s. Investigators continue to find 2 chambers where the bones are stored. These chambers, also called ossuaries, were found under the floor of the Teutonic College. The case of Emanuela received new media attention in October 2018 after the discovery of several bone fragments during renovation work carried out at the headquarters of the Apostolic Nunciate in Rome. The remains belong to a woman of about 30 years, and according to one of the hypotheses, it could be Orlandi, who would have been kept in captivity until reaching that age. However, a subsequent DNA analysis ruled out that possibility. Finally, the Vatican decided to reopen the case in April this year after receiving the aforementioned anonymous message. The unsuccessful exhumation on Thursday has been carried out in the presence of lawyers and members of the Orlandi family, as well as relatives of people who, supposedly, were buried in the place, which is why mystification at the empty graves has been widespread. Until now, the origin of the bones remains unknown, adding to the mysterious case of the Orlandi disappearance. Meanwhile, for Emanuela's brother, Pietro Orlandi, 60 years old and almost half his life, waiting to clarify the case. The investigation of the ossuaries caused him great satisfaction. Thanks for watching. Please like and share the video in social networks. We'll be right back to you as fast as we can.